Okay, this is the last video for chapter 3 problems. This is problem 3-13. So we're going to be preparing the adjusted trial balance, very similar to the unadjusted. We just have new numbers now. So hopefully this is a good review from chapter 2. So I'm going to start with the company name, and then we're going to put adjusted, because now this is after we've made all those journal entries for salaries, unearned revenue, all those sorts of things. And then we're going to put our date. And remember, we're listing them in the order of the accounting equation, so assets, liabilities, and equity. So you may want to pause and take a minute to run through and mark all these as assets, liabilities, equity, so you know the order here. So I'm going to do that as well. AP stands for accounts payable. I try to make this fit. This is from your book. To go to the asset section, equity, 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 asset, 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 equity, equity, liability, even though it doesn't end in the word revenue. It doesn't end in the word payable. Equity, equity. Alright, so remember, we're going to list all of our assets first. If you notice, this has a question mark. This is intended so that you understand how these should work and the balances should work. So for right now, we're going to leave cash without an amount, but we know that it would go under the debit column, but we'll leave that blank for just a minute. So I'm going to go to the next one, which is land. Remember, all assets should go under the debit column, except for one we'll have in a second. I'll show you that. We have accumulated depreciation equipment. We like to see that with whatever it is that we're depreciating. So I'm going to list equipment next. Equipment is 15. Remember, if you want to highlight these off or mark through them, you can do that so you make sure that you do not miss any. Accumulated depreciation has the opposite balance of equipment, so we're going to make sure that 2,400 goes over there. It's the first number in that column, so we're going to give it a $sign. Then we have accounts receivable. That's what AR stands for. It's an asset, has a debit balance. Supplies, same way. And then we're going to go find all of our L's, our liabilities. Remember, all of those will have a credit balance. And remember, unearned revenue doesn't end in the word payable, but is a liability. Okay. Then we have all of our E's. Revenue has a normal credit balance. Remember, equity is the one that's going to go back and forth, so you're going to have some things on the debit column and some under the credit column. So you really got to know your accounts here. Common stock has a normal credit balance. Utilities expense is like the other ones that we've listed. Has a debit balance. And then we have salaries expense. Oh, I skipped one. I skipped depreciation. Alright, so I think we've got everything listed here. So if you remember, we're going to put a total column at the bottom, And remember, we still don't know what cash is, so we know these should equal though. So we're going to add up the credit column, which should add up, I'm so sorry, the video went down at the bottom. There we go. So we should have 84,850. And we know that the debit column should also equal the same, so now you should take this number and subtract whatever this totals up to be right now, and I do not have that number easily totaled, but you can do that. And we then will subtract, and that will give us 18,150 here. So remember this, I'm going to put a little asterisk, this was our plug. And then I will show you at the bottom the process that you should have taken. So total credits of 84,850 minus total known debits equals 84,850, which is what we expect our total debits to equal. Let me get you that number. So it looks like total known debits should have been 66,700. I cannot talk and write today. Oh, I still can't. There we go. Let's start over. 18,150. And that is our cash number that you're going to go plug up there. And then you can double check again if you want and make sure that your debits do indeed equal your credits. And that is the end of the video for this problem.